My name is... I'm about kicking ass, I'm about taking names, and we're about making games.
The Legendary Titans.
The Stone Age could be said to have lasted, from its origins more than 1 million years ago, through the glacial period, colloquially known as the Last Ice Age, and into the beginnings of civilization as we know it. However, around 3,300 years BC, the Stone Age began to be replaced by the Bronze Age. Metalworking made tools better and more easily crafted, and urbanization and writing rapidly transformed human society. Even the Bronze Age was eventually usurped, with many societies of the ancient world collapsing, and then copper and bronze being replaced by the stronger and even more readily available iron, once people mastered the art of smelting steel. The start and end of the Iron Age varies around the world, and can be difficult to clearly define. Rather than a simple replacement by a newer technique, the Iron Age is usually said to have ended when the archaeological and prehistoric records are replaced by recorded history.
I am Iron Man.
I'm Luke Summerhays, and I love Registeel. I spoke a couple of weeks ago about my love of giant robots and mecha. Metagross has the joints of a Gunpla model, and the presence of a Martian fighting machine. But for many people, the image their mind conjures for the word robot is a metallic humanoid figure walking around doing people's bidding. Usually, robots are considered technological entities. Pokemon, particularly in the anime, though also occasionally in the video games, has featured a number of literal robots, but they are a separate class from Pokemon themselves, which are living animals, or at the very least, magical, spiritual creatures of some kind. My favourite robot fiction, however, is the stuff that blurs this line. Does the T-800 in Terminator 2 have a soul? Is Johnny 5 in Short Circuit alive? Are the replicants in Blade Runner so different to you or I? Where is the line between a robot and a mechanical Pokemon? Registeel is a chunky spherical metal titan with stubby legs and long clawed arms. Like the other legendary titans, it moves oddly by sliding around rather than taking actual steps, and makes a really strange noise. Being metal, it comes across even more like a robot than the other two, but it contains no electronics or mechanisms. As Pokemon Ruby tells us, Registeel has a body that is harder than any kind of metal. Its body is apparently hollow. No one has any idea what this Pokemon eats. In the 4th generation, we learned the origins of these Pokemon when we met their creator. That Pokemon's Platinum Pokedex told us, it is said to have made Pokemon that look like itself, from a special ice mountain, rocks, and magma. For this week though, we'll just be concentrating on the 5 subordinate Titans. Maybe next year we'll get to the countless legendaries introduced in Diamond and Pearl. That being said, before the introduction of Regigigas, the origins of the other Titans was more of a mystery. Pokemon Sword told us, Registeel's body is made of a strange material that is flexible enough to stretch and shrink, but also more durable than any metal. And Pokemon Shield told us, it's rumored that this Pokemon was born deep underground, in the planet's mantle, and that it emerged onto the surface 10,000 years ago. A lot of Earth's iron is underground in magma form, and is poured out from volcanic eruptions. In fact, the iron content in a lot of volcanoes is so high as to throw off magnetic calibration and compasses. Pokemon Sapphire tells us, Registeel was imprisoned by people in ancient times. The metal composing its body is thought to be a curious substance that is not of this earth. Before Iron Age blacksmiths learned to make steel, raw iron itself was not that useful as material. However, some small deposits of ready-to-smelt iron did exist, usually in meteorites. The oldest known human works of iron, some 5,000-year-old beads in Egypt, were made from a fallen star. Legends and history alike are filled with weapons made from the metal of the skies, stronger than anything else on Earth. And perhaps Registeel is the same. Like Regirock and Regice, Registeel has some Pokédex entries which really oversell how indestructible it is. Pokemon Emerald tells us, "Its body is harder than any other kind of metal. The body metal is composed of a mysterious substance. Not only is it hard, it shrinks and stretches flexibly." Pokemon Fire Red tells us, "It is sturdier than any kind of metal. It hardened due to pressure underground over tens of thousands of years." Diamond, Pearl and Platinum tell us, "Tempered by pressure underground over tens of thousands of years, its body cannot be scratched." Listening to this, you'd imagine Registeel is made of adamantium from the X-Men, or vibranium, or the adamantium-vibranium mixture that Captain America's shield is made of, and it should be literally indestructible, but obviously not quite. Registeel is as defensively solid as the other two, and its ability to resist Dragon-type moves has seen it go toe-to-toe with some of the more dominant legendaries. Overall though, Registeel hasn't had an exceptional competitive career, always being a little too vulnerable to special fire-type attacks. Registeel could be found in Hoenn inside the Ancient Tomb, and again required players to solve a puzzle in Braille. In Ruby and Sapphire, the solution involved standing in the centre of the room and using Fly, while in Emerald players used Flash. I adore metal men and robots of all kinds, from the Transformers to the Silver Surfer and everything in between. Sure, Registeel is a little odd when placed alongside Pokemon which are clearly inspired by real animals or mythological monsters. As a representation of the iron works with which humanity has filled the world though, it's a pretty cool orb. Music for Lucla's Pokemon is composed by Jonathan Cromie. Artwork for the show is by Katie Groves. Writing, producing and editing is all by me, Luke Summerhays. Funding is provided by lovely listeners at patreon.com/podcastiopodcastius. For just $1 a month you can help support the show and also listen to content early. Even if you don't want to help out, you should swing by that website for convenient links to the podcasts my pals and I create. I love it when listeners get in touch. After Regi Week, we'll be talking Latios and Latias. Let me know your thoughts and feelings about those or whatever Pokemon you love. And even if you don't feel like doing any of that, thank you so much just for listening. I love Registeel. And remember, I love you too.